Good to see you again. We are back for another exciting edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Maybe exciting is the wrong word. It's a Tuesday, the 24th day of August 2021. I'm Dan Kuntz. It is a little chilly out there. It's 52 degrees. You can feel a little bite in the air. We still got a lot of summer to go, but definitely our cooler weather pattern is going to continue for all of this week. We're going to finally get back up to normal and then slightly above normal by the end of the week. But we've had, 4 days in a row with our afternoon high temperature below normal, actually well below normal. We're normally in the mid-80s, 85s are normal high temperature. We only got 75 yesterday. Be a little bit warmer today, but not really much. It's actually quite nice after this unbearably hot, record-breaking summer. But again, we still got a little less than a month of summer to go. So we're a heat wave or two yet to happen. But this time of the year, when we start getting these late summer days, are actually quite pleasant. Sun's coming up a little bit later. We've had gorgeous sunrises at 6:10 was sunrise this morning. Sunset tonight, 7:56, so we're down to 12 hours and 46 minutes of daylight, losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight a day. But it's a very pleasant morning. There were a lot of people take Mondays off. Most people in the personal services businesses take Mondays off. Dentists, hairstylists, things like that. A lot of people out and about yesterday enjoying the beautiful weather. We have another beautiful day today. A few clouds tonight. Forecast details are coming up. We have a lot of news to get to. The Mariners, more late inning heroics for Seattle, taking on Oakland. The last night, we'll talk about that. They're still in the wild card race, which is beautiful as we get into September. The games that really count in September. And we'll preview. We have a couple of things to talk about. Preview the Wenatchee High School football fall schedule and what's coming in with head coach Scott Devereaux, who had a chance to visit with our sports director Eric Granstrom. We'll have some of that in sports, and we'll have Eric's entire conversation with Scott Devereaux during the interview portion of this program in the back half of the hour. Temperatures, again, 52 outside of our studios. Manson's at 44 degrees. Cashmere's at 49. Chelan, 52. Downtown Dryden, 46. Suburban Dryden, 46. It's a little cool out there. Let's take you around the valley with our cameras. We'll begin with the cross camera from the Wenatchee Heights, looking a little bit more towards East Wenatchee. That camera came in handy yesterday with that tragic 3-car accident that claimed the life of that Okanagan teenager. That'll be our lead story here when we get to the news. But as you can tell, as we see the shadows a little bit longer over the East Wenatchee bench, it is bathing the Omi Gardens area, but again, the days are getting shorter, noticeably shorter than they were just 10, 12 days ago, really. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley with a little bit more of East Wenatchee taking the spotlight this morning. Camera 2, I have to guess, that's a no-brainer. That's Omi Gardens. Just a little bit of hazy smoke from there's a significant fire down in the Yakima Cheese area that could make our skies a tad smoky. There is a small little high-pressure ridge. It's just going to set up for about 15, 16 hours. So we could see a little bit of smoke from fires to the south of us and fires to the north of us, the 25-mile fire. By the way, still good news there. It hasn't gotten any bigger. They even had some light rain in Chelan. We had threatened some rain. There was some rain over Mission Ridge late yesterday afternoon. That was not in the forecast. That was a bit of a surprise. Camera number 3, as we bid adieu to Omi Gardens and say hello to the Orondo Rock camera. And that is zoomed back about as far back as it can get. These are what we call PTZ cameras. That's an acronym for pan, tilt, and zoom. So we can go in and out. We can go up and down. We can do the hokey pokey. You can actually see the guy wires that hold the tower up to your right, and Lake Antioch takes charge. By the way, the brand new Discovery Center reopens tomorrow. That $7.7 million renovation project at Rocky Reach Dam. You can check it out yourself tomorrow. And camera 4. Beautiful view from, I want to say, the top of McNeil Canyon. Is that correct, Uriah? That is the moon in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, a full moon. And you can see the haze from the 25-mile fire. It's pretty obvious right there. Lake Chelan just in your view. That is the upper butte to your left. A gorgeous view from the top of McNeil Canyon, zoomed way, way back. But you can see that layer of haze that covers the Chelan area and kind of spills over really into the Antioch River drainage as well. I mentioned that tomorrow is the opening of the new Discovery Center. It's also the first day of school for a lot of the local schools around here. Can't forget about that. Beautiful views, nice shots this morning from our PTZ cameras. Okay, from the National Weather Service, our continued cool pattern continues. I think most people are saying we're fine with that. My air conditioner hasn't been on for a few days. It likes it. So what are we looking at today? Sunshine, quite a bit of it. A little bit warmer than yesterday. Again, we hit 75, which pretty much was exactly was predicted. 75 and 51 were our high and low yesterday. Our normal is 85 and 59, so it was considerably cooler than normal yesterday. Going to be considerably cooler than normal today, but warmer with a high right around 80, 54 for the overnight low. Weak system comes by on Wednesday. The ridge that's going to be hanging around today is going to start breaking down, and a trough is going to push into our area. So we'll see some increasing clouds as Wednesday progresses. By the end of the day Wednesday, we'll have fairly cloudy skies, but warmer still, with a high of 83 degrees. Not really a lot to talk about Wednesday night. Thursday, sunshine for the most part. A slight chance of some light rain early Thursday morning, high of 81. Thursday night, a little bit of light rain possible. I wouldn't bet on it. 62 for the overnight low, and then 59 for the overnight low, and then here we go from 77 to 87 to 91 to 88. Told you we'll be right back to the sunny and warm weather. By the way, a little breezy at times, we're told, on Thursday and Thursday night, but nothing we can't handle. So all those temperatures until we get to Saturday below normal. So nice, cool, almost autumnal-like weather expected for the Wenatchee Valley and north central Washington. 7 minutes after the hour, going to take a quick 1 minute break, so grab your cup of coffee and your muffin or whatever it is that you want to snack on, and I'll give you the news that you need on this Tuesday morning in 60 seconds. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, you know, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
What you're doing is ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, you might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to chelanpud.org/save today.
Quite a bit of sunshine outside of some residual smoke from the 25-mile fire to the north of us. It's a beautiful morning. It's 52 degrees. We'll be right around 80 degrees today. Slightly cooler on Wednesday and Thursday. Then summertime returns with a vengeance come this weekend. 8 minutes after the hour, your headlines. We begin with an 18-year-old Okanagan County man. He is dead. He was killed, and 2 people were hospitalized in a 3-vehicle head-on accident. This happened early yesterday morning on Sunset Highway near 13th Street. East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton said the unidentified 18-year-old was driving southbound about 5:20 a.m. when his pickup crossed the center line and collided with an SUV and then another SUV. The Okanagan County teen was ejected from the pickup, was pronounced dead at the scene. Hampton said the drivers of the SUVs were transported to Central Washington Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Highway 28 was closed down for several hours following that accident. Washington's requirement for indoor facial covering masks, it's back again. Of course, it started on Monday. Yesterday, Governor Jay Inslee had been allowing the executive order to lapse back in May. That's when COVID-19 cases began to bottom out, but explosive growth of new infections led the governor to renew the mandate last week. It applies to all indoor public spaces, including restaurants, stores, and theaters when visitors are not actively eating a meal. All students, of course, will also be required to wear masks when they return to school starting tomorrow. Washington State Supreme Court now requires that COVID-19 vaccinations are for all of its staff have to be done, and they're encouraging the lower courts in our state to do so, but Chelan County Superior Court says so far they're not taking that step. The requirement would have to be put in place by the county's 3 judges. Court Administrator Fona Sugg says Chelan County court staff, quote, has an extremely high vaccination rate, and we continue to take precautions to protect against the spread of COVID-19. Everyone entering the courtroom must once again wear masks regardless of their vaccination status, and all court staff continue to wear masks when working with the public. A new surge in COVID-19 cases has led to the cancellation of a number of community events, including the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival. It was supposed to be held this Saturday at the Town Toyota Center. That has been postponed. Wenatchee World publisher Sean Flattery says they are hoping to hold the festival later this year. The city of Leavenworth has canceled their all-city block party that was scheduled for this Thursday. It was meant to serve as a community bright spot after a year and a half of living under COVID-19 restrictions. Mayor Carl Floria said even though the event was to be outdoors, the city could not guarantee safe conditions with the big crowd that was expected to attend. Citing extreme fire danger, the U.S. Forest Service has banned recreational shooting in the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest. The Forest Service said on Friday the ban does not apply to people with a valid hunting license who are legally pursuing game. The shooting ban is in addition to Stage 2 fire restrictions that are already in place. Those ban campfires, even in developed campgrounds, and the use of fireworks and chainsaws, among other things. And the Wenatchee Valley's very first charter school opens today. Pinnacle Preps is housed at the Wenatchee Community Center, just down the road from our studios on South Chelan. The school for grades 6 through 12 opened Friday with a ribbon-cutting ceremony featuring organizers and visiting dignitaries. Afterward, office manager Angelica Vasquez offered a short tour of Pinnacle's prep.
Everybody's really excited to be here. And for me, this is like almost a dream come true because I know that our community needs this kind of school. I mean, everybody learns different, and we can't assume that everybody is going to learn one way. This is the main office, but we got our logo right here. We're very proud of it to show it. Our office here. A conference room right here.
It is, yeah. Really transforms it.
And offices, of course. Our principals. Our nurse's office right here. So we will have a nurse. Good. And next year we will have a building here. So we're gonna move offices from over there. It'll be right here. This will be a building. I like the building. And right here is for scholars. We'll meet on Mondays, but this is our community meeting here. We have music, we can go there. And there is a classroom over there too. Right now, this is our music classroom or music lab. It's fun. Our scholars are going to be having, while the time allows us, they will be eating outside, enjoying the fresh air. And I believe once we go back, to the winter, it'll be inside. But they will be able to come and just enjoy the food up here.
Again, that was last Friday during the opening ceremonies. The school itself welcomes their first class today. Quick friendly reminder, the two largest school districts in our area, the Wenatchee School District and the Eastmont School District, they start classes tomorrow. Summer's almost over. Quick update on the 25-mile fire up in the Chelan area. Really not a lot to talk about. They had some unexpected light rain yesterday afternoon, which is always good news. The fire remains pretty much the same size it has been since the weekend. It hasn't gotten any significantly bigger. Of course, with the Type 1 incident management team on site, they now have close to 500 personnel working on the fire. Again, it has not gotten any larger. Containment continues to creep up. It's 10% contained right now, and the evacuation levels remain the same as they have been for about the last 4 or 5 days. And that's what's making news at 15 minutes after the hour. Grant and Eric and Cal and Malcolm and whoever else bothers to show up on this Tuesday will be showing up and putting together a newscast for you with a preview of tonight's evening news. The anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, cool temperatures once again today and then back to normal by tomorrow. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on the Mariners as they finish up a big 2-game series against the A's this afternoon. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you, our viewers. And if you want to chime in specifically on this program, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, a friendly reminder, we accept constructive criticism so long as it's unqualified praise. Just a heads up on that. Get a hold of us via our Facebook page, via our website, via our email address, news@ncwlife.com. Here it is late August, and the Mariners are still in a pennant race. We haven't been able to say that for a number of years. They won again last night in dramatic fashion against the A's. You want to win the teams. You want to beat the teams in your own division. It's important if you have eyes on a playoff spot. We'll talk Mariner baseball in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious? No, he's not. He's not. Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
18 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday, the Mariners staged a ninth-inning rally for the second night in a row. They knocked off Oakland, the final 5-3. The Mariners trailed 2-0 heading into the sixth inning. That's when Mitch Haniger gave the offense a little bit of a boost.
A hanger, mashed, out to left center, tied game! Number 29, Mitch Haniger, brings us right back where we started.
Marco Gonzalez, the starter, would give up his second home run of the night. In the bottom of the sixth, he left the game with the Mariners trailing 3-2. But then Seattle's bullpen once again came through as Eric Swanson threw up a 0 in the seventh. Anthony Mishevich would throw another 0 up in the eighth. And then here come the heroics in the ninth, beginning with Ty France.
Clubbed. How far is this carried? Back, and he has done it again! Back-to-back ninth-inning shots to tie it up. Who else would it be? Ty France! But the way that he is going, and knowing that he hit the home run yesterday, I'm surprised. Trevino, 3 fastballs in a row, and this one is right down the middle.
Down the road we go. Abraham Toro had a base hit. Jake Fraley had a double. That put runners on second and third. Jarrett Kelnick struck out. Cal Raleigh struck out. Jake Bowers to the plate.
This finds left field. Mariners take the lead for the first time. Toro and Fraley score. Jake Bowers, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the ninth, puts the Mariners in front 5-3. And here he's finally able to stay on that changeup. That's probably off the plate, but he stays with it and hits it the other way. That is barreled up. Fraley with good speed, no chance to throw him out. What a clutch base hit.
Paul Sewald came on in the bottom of the ninth inning, was perfect, pitched a 1-2-3, and that's it. The Mariners win 5-3. Mariner manager Scott Service says this Mariner team simply doesn't give up.
Late inning, come from behind wins we've had here throughout the year, but certainly on this trip, Ty France again. It's hard to hit home runs off closers, and he's making it look easy, but a heck of a comeback against a really good team over there. And not much to talk about offensively early in the game. And I thought Marco threw the ball really well tonight. He gave up kind of the scratch run in the first, the home run to Gomes. And he's kind of cruising along, and he made a mistake to Olsen, and you're thinking, oh boy, that might end up sinking us tonight. But nice job, guys, out of the bullpen. Swanee throwing a 0 up there. Miz continues to roll, and then Seawald blocks it down again. But Ty France, getting the big swing there, and then not quitting. Toro had a big night, 3 hits out of him. Fraley hit some balls pretty hard tonight, and finally got one over their head, and huge hit by Bowers. Trevino thought he was going to wiggle out of it, gets 2 big punch outs, went to the changeup, a lot of off-speed pitches, and he just went up to Bowers and got enough in a good spot and got the huge hit for us. So nice win, great way to start this series, and, it tightens up the wild card race even a little bit more.
Mariners improved to 5-2 on their road trip. They wrap it up. They have a day game today. It's a matinee in Oakland. First pitch 12:37. Chris Flexen and Cole Irvin will toe the rubber as the Mariners go for the sweep. Okay, to the American League West scoreboard. Boston and Texas made up a rainout on Monday. The Rangers forced extra innings with a 2 spot in the 9th. Each team scored a run in the 10th, and then Boston won it in the 11th on Travis Shaw's walk-off grand slam home run. 8-4 was the final there. Houston's bullpen struggled again. They allowed 5 late inning runs in a 7-1 loss to the Royals. So Boston's win, combined with Oakland's loss to the Mariners, puts the Red Sox in the lead for the final American League wildcard spot. The A's are a game back. Seattle remains 3 games behind. The Yankees have gone on a 10-game winning streak, and they have now taken over the number 1 wildcard playoff spot. Just 10 days away from the fall football season here in north central Washington. The Wenatchee Panthers are one of those teams that, they're working out in preparation for the upcoming season. Head coach Scott Devereaux says so far he's happy with what he sees.
It's looking good. Looking good. I'm happy with where we are. We still have some guys competing for jobs, which is great. They're working really hard. Getting back to normal, having the camp. We got to really see our kids compete under some pressure. And so we knew at kind of end of the camp, some directions and some things we need to change a little bit. But it's been great, man.
The Panthers struggled to a 1-4 record during the COVID-19 shortened season last spring. Remember, they were co-champions of the Big Nine in 2019. Devereaux says one of the biggest improvements they're making is on the offensive line.
I really like this group of linemen. We moved some guys around. We moved Trey Jagla's back to playing center.
Okay.
He's an all-league kid as a sophomore starter for us. Made us better right away. We've got Evan Burdan playing guard. Just a super strong, he's built to play that position. Mm-hmm. He's a 220-pound district champion wrestler. Mm-hmm. Jesus Segovia is playing the other guard, and he started there last year for us, and he's a senior this year. Those 3 right there, lights out, way different from last year. And we have 2 good-sized junior tackles.
Good.
And
Good.
So as far as comparing last year to this year, I think we are significantly ahead of where we were last year.
Wenatchee opens the season at home against Skyline on September 3rd. Then they have Mount Baker at home. Then they travel to Mountain View in week 3. Then they end September with their first Big Nine game of the season. It happens to be the Bridge of Sportsmanship game in East Wenatchee against Eastmont. Later on, of course, this morning, Eric's entire conversation with Scott Devereaux will be airing right here on this award-winning program, which has never actually won an award. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday, the obscure holiday of the day today. We're celebrating National Waffle Day. Makes you want to eat a waffle right now, doesn't it? Because it was on this date in 1869 that Cornelius Swarthout was issued the very first patent for a waffle iron. It was a waffle iron that sat on top of a wood stove. This is 1869. It just had a hinge and it had the waffle things, and it worked. Waffles go all the way back to the 17th century. The rich people could eat waffles with sugar. The poor people couldn't, and then sugar became not only prevalent but cheaper, and then pretty soon everybody was enjoying waffles. Waffles kind of came into waffle production basically was primarily centered in Germany during the 18th century. All kinds of different recipes for waffles. And then in the early part of the 20th century, a little over 100 years ago, waffles kind of fell out of favor One thing, they were hard to make, but two things happened. Two very important things happened. Number one, ready mix, waffle mix. You could go to the store and just buy what you needed. That helped. And then the electric waffle iron helped even better. And before you know it, waffles were right back on the American breakfast menu and remains to this day. I love waffles because the little bitty holes holds in the butter and the maple syrup. So there you go. Fun facts about waffles. Thomas Jefferson brought a waffle iron to the United States from France. It wasn't patented. Waffles were used to make the very first ice cream cone. Ice cream cones go back to the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, when the guy would serve ice cream and he would put them inside of a waffle. That's how that happens. Waffles comes from the Dutch word meaning wafer. There you go. In 1953, Eggo introduced the frozen waffle, and the soles of the very first pair of Nikes back in the mid-1960s was made with a waffle iron. Happy National Waffle Day. It's today. I wouldn't be surprised if there were restaurants that had specials on waffles. They are, let me know. 26 minutes after the hour, today in history, this is the traditional day of the famous eruption of Mount Vesuvius. August 24th in the year 79, which would make it 1,942 years ago. This is the traditional date. In retrospect, many historians believe that the eruption actually happened on October 24th. That is an eruption that you don't want to be a part of. Vesuvius has erupted a lot of times since August 4th, 79 AD. It is the only volcano on the European mainland to have erupted within the last 100 years and is regarded as the most dangerous volcano in the world to this very day, because about 3 million people live in the general vicinity of Mount Vesuvius. And Mount Vesuvius erupts without any warning at all. It has a tendency to have violent, explosive eruptions all of a sudden. And there's 3 million people living in the general area of Mount Vesuvius. Why they choose to live there with a volcano that could blow at any minute, ours is not to question why. Mount Vesuvius erupted. How many people died in the original eruption? Nobody knows. It was 1,942 years ago, so there you go. For the only time in this country's history, Washington, D.C. was occupied by a foreign force. August 24th, 1814, during the War of 1812, British troops invaded Washington, D.C. It took a couple of days. On this date, they burned the White House and the Capitol. The next day, they burned other buildings in our nation's capital. Congress hung around for a little while. They actually held session of Congress while the Capitol was on fire, and finally they said maybe we should leave. The president got out of there. For a couple of days, they just basically burned and sacked the nation's capital. And then a rainstorm came, put out the fires, the troops went back. But Washington, D.C., for the only time in its history, was occupied by a foreign force during the War of 1812 on this date in 1814, 207 years ago. I remember this day like it was yesterday. August 24th, 1989, 32 years ago now. After weeks and weeks and months of legal wrangling, it was in the paper every day, the lawsuits, countersuits, all this junk. Finally, the press conference was held at the Hilton in New York City. The commissioner of baseball, A. Bartlett Giamatti, announces that Pete Rose agreed to be banned from baseball for gambling on Major League Baseball. It was a 5-page document signed by both A. Bartlett Giamatti and Pete Rose. Pete Rose did not accept guilt. Bart Giamatti said by basically signing this document, he was admitting he was guilty. Here's how it ended.
I will be told that I am an idealist. I hope so. I will continue to locate ideals I hold for myself and my country in the national game as well as in other of our national institutions. And while there will be debate and dissent about this or that or another occurrence on or off the field, and while the game's nobler parts will always be enmeshed in the human frailties of those who, whatever their role, have stewardship of this game, let there be no doubt or dissent about our goals for baseball or our dedication to it, nor about our vigilance and vigor and indeed our patience in protecting the game from blemish or stain or disgrace. The matter of Mr. Rose is now closed. It will be debated and discussed. Let no one think that it did not hurt baseball. That hurt will pass, however, as the great glory of the game asserts itself and the resilient institution goes forward. Let it also be clear that no individual is superior to the game.
1989, I'm an unabashed baseball fan. I think most people know that. 1989 was a bad year for baseball, Major League Baseball. They had, before the spring training even started, they had the drug trials in Pittsburgh, and a lot of Major League All-Stars were caught up in this drug conspiracy, cocaine and stuff. And then we had the earthquake during the 1989 World Series in San Francisco. The Pete Rose affair hung over baseball all year long. August 24th, Pete Rose is banned for life. Pete Rose is still banned for life. 32 years later, Bart Giamatti would die of a heart attack. A week later, August 24th, 1989, still hurts. Happy birthday to Windows 95 on this date, August 24th, 1995. 26 years ago today, the operating software that changed personal computing in this country, Windows 95, available for sale in North America. A number of the functions and features of Windows 95 is still used today. The taskbar, the notification area, the start button, they still use all of that. Windows 95 is definitely a game changer. By the way, they no longer have support for Windows 95. They stopped doing that 20 years ago. Although occasionally I will turn on a computer and Windows 95 is the operating system. And finally, this is the 15th anniversary of the day Pluto got demoted. I was upset about this. Obviously, the planet Pluto was not consulted. The International Astronomical Union, the IAU, redefines the term planet as such that Pluto is now considered a dwarf planet and not one of the planets in the solar system. Pluto was discovered in the 1930s, got demoted in 2006. Hi, Pluto. 32 minutes after the hour, birthdays. Most mob bosses are either convicted and sent to prison, or they're deported, or they're killed by the rival gangs or somebody inside their gang who wants to assume power. Carlo Gambino didn't have to worry about that. The Italian-American crime boss, the boss of bosses. He ran the commission that ran the 5 families. Born in the state of 1902, immigrated to this country in 1920. He ran the Gambino crime family, and he was the boss of bosses, the head of the commissioner from 1959 until his death of a heart attack at the age of 74 in 1976. By the way, the Gambino crime family is still going on. Kenny Baker, the English actor who played R2-D2 in Star Wars, the first 6 Star Wars films. He also was he played other roles. He was Ewoks and other things like that. You didn't know that. But he was the guy inside the suit for R2-D2 for the first 6 Star Wars films. He couldn't participate in anymore after that because of ill health. Kenny Baker, born in the state of 1934, died at the age of 81 in 2016. Of course, he and Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO, did not like each other very much at all. Just goes to show, you don't have to like each other off screen as long as you have charisma on screen. Cal Ripken Jr., 61 years old today, 2,632 consecutive games played. I don't think that record will ever be broken. Of course, they said Lou Gehrig's record would never be broken. And it was. Cal Ripken Jr., Baseball Hall of Famer, class of 2007. And happy 56th birthday to Marlee Matlin, who still, to this day, remains the youngest person ever to win the Academy Award for Best Actress for Children of a Lesser God. Marlee Matlin is 55 years old today. 34 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Here's a heads up on this. Mike is getting old. And then Eric Granstrom, our sports director, had a chance to visit with Scott Devereaux, the head coach of the Wenatchee Panthers, to preview the upcoming fall football season. It's getting that time of the year. Eric and Scott, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Things have changed in the motorsports industry. Short supply and high demand have emptied showrooms. But what hasn't changed are the experts at Doghouse Motorsports. They are here to help you reserve the machine of your choice. Stop by and check out the latest 2022 Husqvarna motorcycles, UBCO, and Intense electric vehicles, and other new additions to the Doghouse Motorsports family of high-quality products.
Over the last year and a half, the industry's absolutely changed, but the Doghouse is still your best option for all your power sports needs.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Merry Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Merry Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Merry Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Merry Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
What you're doing is ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, you might as well throw up a screen door to block the summer smoke.
sometimes it gets
When we
warm.
breathe in the wildfire smoke, we are ingesting hazardous chemicals such as acetic acid and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. A lot of bad stuff, okay?
Well, yeah, that's why we...
Cardboard ain't gonna cut it.
So...
Go to ChelanPUD.org/save today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I don't care how many movies, remakes, or sequels are done. There are some things that just are inviolate as far as I'm concerned. Now, Sean Connery is James Bond, okay? Not some other two-bit poser actor. I don't care who they stick in that job. Sean Connery is James Bond. And something else, Harrison Ford is Jack Ryan, not that Baldwin guy or some other make-believe character. And here's the one that really kills me. Basil Rathbone is Sherlock Holmes. Now, I know Rathbone is dead, but isn't it better to preserve the integrity of the character than trying to put some other two-bit actor, some other person in a role that belongs to Basil Rathbone alone? Now, this, to me, is the worst part of the capitalist system. Trying to milk additional money out of fictional characters when the original actors who created the roles in the first place are no longer available. Just give it up. I mean, sheesh. Let's have some respect. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Flooring is the foundation of decorating. It sets the tone for your home and reflects your lifestyle. At Apple Valley Floors To Go, their goal is to help you make that choice a great experience. You'll find extensive flooring options at their beautiful East Wenatchee showroom. Engineered hardwoods, laminates, vinyl planks, carpeting. Do it yourself or have their professional installation team do the work for you. Family owned and operated in East Wenatchee.
For more than 56 years, Crown Furniture and Mattress has been serving North Central Washington with the same principles we were founded on, offering the best quality, great value, incredible comfort, honesty, integrity, and of course, made in the USA. Because so much of our inventory is made in America, it has alleviated a lot of the shortages companies are experiencing nationwide. We are overstocked and ready to deliver. So stop by and see us today or visit us online at www.crownfurnitureandmattress.com.
Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Stay active and independent for life. SAIL is an evidence-based strength, balance, and fitness program. The exercises in a SAIL class have been packaged into a formal regimen focusing on 4 key areas important to the health and fitness of mature participants: low-impact cardiovascular, balance work, strength training, and stretching. SAIL classes are designed for people of all fitness levels and can be done sitting or standing. Join us for SAIL on the NCW Life channel. Check your listing for days and times.
Well, the season is right upon us already. Scott Devereaux, head coach for the Wenatchee Panthers, 19 years. I'm trying to add it all up here.
Something like that. It's around there.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Going on a couple decades. So last year when we talked, or last spring when we talked about just getting a chance to play football again, you brought up a term that you said, appreciation. That the COVID thing gave you an appreciation for just being able to be out and be with the kids and things like that. Is that still prevalent?
Absolutely. You know, the highlight of my day, even on a cold, windy, nasty day, is coming out and working with high school kids. And, you know, I just feel like it's kind of where I need to be.
What else did COVID teach you personally as you go into another season of coaching and hopefully back to normal?
You know, I think a lesson for me was perspective as well. Especially when it came to the classroom and things that kids were going through. And then when we came back into the hybrid learning, it was just, you know, I kept reminding myself every day, just keep perspective, do what you're best at, help kids the best you can, and just keep going, you know, just keep going. Eventually this thing's going to get over with. We're going to find ways to live with it or get rid of it, and I'm just going to keep pushing until we do.
I think that that's also lost on a lot of folks, is that they see a coach as a guy with a whistle around his neck who, you know, is hollering at kids on the field. But you're an educator both on the field and off the field, and it was just as hard for you guys as educators as it was for the students, and maybe even harder, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. You know, I used to be a classroom teacher. I taught language arts for like 8 years, and I was thankful that I wasn't in that situation. I mean, I was scratching my head thinking, wow, what would I be doing if I was trying to teach what I used to teach through a Zoom call? Yeah. You know, and it was just, physical education definitely changed, but I was thankful that I was not doing that kind of work, man. My heart went out to those people and those kids. That was a big change.
Yeah, and that's a whole, you know, year that's gone and lost. Well, let's focus on this coming year and this coming class. You got a lot of kids coming back that got some great experience for you. I know it was a youth movement, and you were kind of thrust in a situation, especially offensively, that you weren't necessarily prepared for. So let's talk about the summer workout program. You had the camp here. How's it going?
It's looking good. Looking good. I'm happy with where we are. We still have some guys competing for jobs, which is great. They're working really hard. Getting back to normal, having the camp. We got to really see our kids compete under some pressure. And so we knew at kind of the end of the camp, some directions and some things we need to change a little bit. But it's been great, man.
So, this other side of the river team over there has had some success at your cost at times. I know you like to focus internally and just make it so within. Has your senior class, have they kind of taken on that mantra as well that, hey, don't worry about anybody else, let's focus on us getting better?
Right now they have. Yeah, we'll see what it's like week 4, right, when we play. But our kids, our mantra, this year, one of the things that they really wanted to focus on was confidence, discipline, heart, and family. And those are things that our seniors bring up a lot with the underclassmen. And that's our focus right now, are those four terms: what it looks like at practice, what it looks like in the building, and what it looks like off campus. And that's our focus right now.
Because of those shortages you had, specifically at quarterback, and trying to figure that out last year, you had to change your whole approach to the game. And now that you've had a year to kind of adjust and kind of look at the talent pool and what you got and things like that, are you able to get back to what you want to try to do?
Yeah, for the most part. For the most part, we're going to have the ball in the best guys' hands a lot, whether we hand it to them, throw it to them, or snap it to them. So we have some different packages that we've been putting together for those guys that have multiple abilities. And just after 2 days of practice, I guess, if you don't count the summer stuff, I'm pleased at where we are.
Good. And I know that's a benchmark for you too, is, okay, where are we early on?
Yeah.
Let's talk about, you graduated basically your whole offensive line last year, and those are some big talented kids. How you looking there on the line as you come back into the season?
I really like this group of linemen. We moved some guys around. We moved Trey Jaglo's back to playing center.
Okay.
He's an all-league kid as a sophomore starter for us. Made us better right away. We've got Evan Burdan playing guard. Just a super strong, he's built to play that position. He's a 220-pound district champion wrestler. Jesus Segovia is playing the other guard, and he started there last year for us, and he's a senior this year. Those three right there, lights out, way different from last year. And we have 2 good-sized junior tackles.
Good.
And so as far as comparing last year to this year, I think we are significantly ahead of where we were last year.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Quarterback position, that was that big question mark you had. I know you tried to get JJ in there, and he had some health issues that was going on. You got Mr. Dooley in there as the season progressed. How you sitting in that quarterback position?
Those guys are competing.
Okay.
Those guys are competing. If we were to play a game tomorrow, there'd probably be multiple guys getting some reps in there. Nobody's really stood out yet, and nobody's playing horrible, but that's definitely a position of growth for us. We're going to keep striving to get better there.
I know last spring it was, we're only talking 6 months ago, we're shoveling snow off of here to play football, but I think the goal was, hey, just let's stay out here, let's stay healthy, let's not get COVID, let's do that type of thing. Goal set for this team, where are they?
Well, their overall team goal is to be league champs, and I think probably every high school in the country has the same goal, and so that's our goal. And you become league champs, you get to host a playoff game, and then take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
But otherwise we're focusing on the terms that the team came up with, trying to get that really sunk in. I talked to them already about family, and we're not a true family until you want it more for your buddy than you do for yourself, and so we're working on that right now. But it's only day 3, so we got work to do, but I like the progress we're making.
Talk about your schedule and how you're looking at it. You've got some challenges right out of the box, and then of course the Big 9 again. You got that team across the river, Sunnyside. The typicals that you're probably looking at.
Yeah, we've got some great competition out of league. Starting off with Skyline week 1, and we don't have any film on them or anything. We know they had a great passing attack last year with a senior quarterback. we expect them to be similar to what they've always been. You know, a very well-coached football team. And then we go down to Vancouver and play Mountain View, who's always been tough. That whole league down there is crazy. Week 8, Union comes to town. They're, you know, a powerhouse. So, you know, we want to be league champions, and eventually we want to win some playoff games. And you can't get there by scheduling teams with losing records, you know. So we want to play the best we can.
I had this discussion with Coach Don across the river, too, about, you know, it's one thing to compete in the Big Nine. It's another thing to compete statewide. And for this valley, it's a little more difficult than those Western Washington teams just because of the access that kids have outside of what you're doing with them at practice, at summer camp, and things like that. How big of a challenge is that?
It's crazy. You know, you talk to coaches from the west side, and, for example, Skyline, they work with Steve Jervis, who was the head coach there, and they won 4 state titles. All winter long, they're doing 7-on-7, a couple nights a week. The linemen are working with the line coaches there. So it goes all winter, all spring, all summer. You know, those guys get a lot more reps than the rest of us get. Over here, you know, we don't have those opportunities. We're not allowed to coach our own kids. And, you know, a lot of parents over there are paying a lot of money to people to make their football teams better. But
well, and they've got, I mean, you know, the coaches, but also fitness trainers and dietitians and all this kind of stuff.
There's travel football teams.
Right.
You know, kids are traveling all over the country, playing top competition, kind of on these select
an
teams.
AAU kind of a
thing.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you know, one of those coaches will sniff around over here and want our kids to come practice and travel, but, you know, it's not cheap, and the time is immense, and not, you know, Wenatchee kids aren't going to probably go do that. But.
Well, and do you, I mean, both the schools here in this valley are 4A schools. You've got a big student body population, but do you almost feel small school-ish because you can't have 25 kids that are just football players, because they got to play the other sports too to make you competitive in the Big Nine in those sports?
Yeah, I really think a high school athlete should play multiple sports. There's other coaches that think the other way. You know, I came from a small school. You too. You did everything.
Yeah.
You know, and you had to. You loved it anyway.
Right.
You know, and it didn't really matter whatever sport you were in was the sport.
Right.
And
well, you listen to these NFL coaches now, and they say that these guys that they've got playing for them that were multiple sport athletes, it helps them in the long run.
Absolutely. You know, you compete all year, you train all year, you're cross-training, you're hanging out with your buddies. I think that's so important. You're around good people, you're around good coaches. You know, you're staying out of trouble because you're too tired to do anything else. At least that's what I told my parents.
Yeah. Oh, and there was that whole grade point thing you had to have. That was good for me too.
Yeah, absolutely. That had an influence.
What is fun for you? I mean, you've been coaching a long time now. We talked about that. So what is fun?
I have a lot of fun in a lot of different things, you know. I have fun being around people that are enjoying themselves, you know, whether it's a department meeting, if we can have a laugh, I'm good, you know. I'm out here with kids. I see smiles on their face, see them working hard, see them sweating, grinding. You know, to me, that's fun. It was fun for me when I was in school. I just loved the part about competition, you know, and I'm going to find a way to beat you, you know, if I can. And usually when you're around a group of high school boys that kind of think the same way, you know, they're out here because they love the sport. We've got a guy from India who's never touched a football before this year. It's his 3rd day of practice.
How fun is that?
Oh man, he's a senior.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, Coach, I don't know what I'm doing. I said, hey, I'm glad you're here. We'll keep coaching you. We'll get you figured out eventually. You know, he's got a smile on his face. I'm like, how cool is it that kid gets to come here and play football?
Well, and this can be a grind, especially these longer practices that you have to try to cram in the 10 before you get your first game and things like that. How do you break that up at all, if you do, to have a little fun, make sure the guys are staying fresh?
It's tough, you know, because we started our back-to-school stuff. Usually you get a few 2-a-days in before that happens, but we don't have that this year. So, you know, we're going about an hour and a half on the field. We're getting a little bit of lift in. We take a break. We chalk talk. We walk through. We can be a little more jovial at that point. Then we come back out and finish the second half of practice with a good 2.5 hours. You know, and I think you can break it up, just with your demeanor and being around kids and patting them on the back and get to know something about them besides just what position do you play and what your name is.
Yeah. Well, and you've found through experience that the more you know about what's happening in their life, the more that football can be of service to them to help them at home.
100% true, yeah.
Well, best of luck this season, and keep everybody healthy through these grueling days here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You bet. Scott Devereaux joining us here as we talk football on the NCW Life Channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center brings you Vibrant Motion, a new hour-long exercise program featuring local instructors Connie Townsend and Pat Robbins. Each week, we'll bring you a new episode with aerobics or Tai Chi. We promise you'll get a heart-pumping, low-impact workout regardless of your age. Join us for Vibrant Motion, weekdays on the NCW Life Channel. Check your program guide for airtimes.
This is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the north shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil, and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
Dr. Divis is proud to announce that Dr. Taylor Pedigo has joined the Wenatchee Dental Arts team. After much research, Dr. Pedigo chose Wenatchee Dental Arts as the place to practice and Wenatchee as the place to live. Dr. Pedigo is an honors graduate of the UCLA School of Dentistry and has made our valley his home. Wenatchee Dental Arts offers complete comprehensive dentistry from routine teeth cleaning to sedation dentistry. Wenatchee Dental Arts now offering 2 dentists to serve all your dental needs. Call for your appointment today.
And we are back. The temperature has not warmed up a great deal. We were 52 when we started this show just about an hour ago, and here in downtown Wenatchee, we're only up to 54 degrees. There's still some locations still in the 40s. Dryden is at 49 degrees. Cashmere's at 49. Chelan is at 49. It feels autumnal-like, but we still got summer to go. Below normal temperatures for the next few days. Going to warm up for the weekend for the National Weather Service. Here we go. Sunshine today. Going to be about 5 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. 75 was our high on Monday. About 5 degrees warmer for the afternoon high today. 54 for the overnight low tonight. Still cool. Still below normal. Couple of passing clouds, maybe a light raindrop Wednesday night. We'll get up to 83 for the high tomorrow afternoon, 60 for the overnight low on Wednesday night. Thursday, a weak system comes through. We're looking at just slightly cooler temperatures, maybe right around 80 degrees, give or take a couple. On Thursday, once again, overnight lows below normal, or right about normal, I should say, at 59. Cool down a little bit on Friday with a high of only 77, and then we warm right back up again. A big bump in the afternoon high on Saturday with a high of 87. On Sunday, 91 degrees. Monday, 88. Of course, a week from today, we'll be into September and getting ready to say goodbye to August. But a friendly reminder, it's still summer for a little less than a month. So There you go. That's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. Make a point of joining us tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.